if you're not able to actually step into anything and act on it, you're going to be shown a plan this week about what's best for you and what matches your heart. To fall down at the first sign of distress or hurdle, and if it does, then you know that that's not the way. Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Vicki Haspels and I am the Tarot Coach. Welcome to the weekly forecast for week commencing March the 2nd, 2026. My friends, it has been a while. It has been an interesting past 3 months. I do need to write about my experiences and why I had to drop out for a little bit. It is not an uncommon thing, and it's happened to a lot of my friends. And it may have already happened to you too. But now we feel like we're coming out of whatever it is that needed to hold us still and in place to care for ourselves over that time. Now it's time to get back on the horse, as they say. So let's begin. So the first card we're looking at is the influence of the week. The card I have chosen is Ace of Pentacles. If you look at Ace of Pentacles, you'll see that underneath here is all unblocked. He's holding up his coin. That means we are being influenced by one energy to start off with, and the fact that whatever has been holding us back is now free to be expressed, which is just perfect, and a perfect example of how the energy has now been released around a lot of us to do this work. And even if you don't do this work, you may have already been feeling it, and now it's like we are able to breathe again and to experience and be part of the world again. And that's what that ace represents. So it's going to flow through everything that we're experiencing this week, and I'm going to talk about how it flows through the cards that I've chosen for this week as well. So the conscious self this week, how we're feeling, we have the Chariot. It's very much a choice. You can see that the two horses are pulling each other in different directions. The Chariot is about control, personal control. So if you're feeling out of control, then the Chariot is probably working to help you make some decisions about the direction that you want to head in. If you are feeling that you are being pulled in two different directions, then the Chariot is reminding you that you actually have choice here. And if you allow the Chariot to take over, then there are going to be episodes of anger and like outbursts of anger or anger and frustration coming out of nowhere. But when the Chariot works in our favour, that energy of anger is transmuted into action, hence the Ace of Pentacles. We have everything we need to put everything into action, and wherever we need to be unblocked, it will be. So if we're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling frustrated this week, the Chariot's going to bring you back into line and remind you about what your lane is. And the Ace of Pentacles, which is influencing it, will remind you and show you where you're unblocked in the physical realm. Pentacles is about the physical realm. So let's have a look at the unconscious self. Here we have the Magician. And again, it's another choice card. It's not by accident that these are up. So the unconscious is our guidance, our soul selves. You can tune into it through your heart and just talk to your spirit guides or your own soul. And we listen with our feelings. It's not something that comes in. Sometimes it can be a voice, but just be mindful. It's our feelings and our knowing, our inner knowing. And this is what this card is about. It is about telling us, again, that we have a choice. So whenever you're feeling that you're sort of going a bit out of control or out of your lane, and you can feel that frustration building, the Magician is going to come in and highlight the path that is best for you. I just keep seeing in my mind's eye this beautiful light shining over the path, or it will be the shiniest and most obvious. Please do not make your choices difficult. This is not a difficult time. And again, I'm going to refer back to the Ace of Pentacles. The way forward has been made easy and unblocked. If you're choosing the difficult path that has to be knocked down, then your Magician is saying to you, that's not the way. However, that's up to you how you want to go forward. No way is the wrong way, but there's also an aligned way, an easy way, but you'll always come back to your path anyway. Don't you worry. So now we're going to have a look at what it is that we are challenged by. What is it that really I always think about this one as what we're learning about ourselves and what needs strengthening, because this is where we're most vulnerable. Here we have the Four of Cups. So we are very easily influenced by something that comes in or someone that comes in that sort of makes sense, and it'll just tap into a fear. So we're easily influenced by other people's opinions. When we're talking about the Ace is solid, it's grounded, it's of the earth. Four of Cups plays on your emotions. So if something or someone comes in and you feel a bit, oh, I didn't think about that, or you start to get distracted because fear starts to ripple up, you're being asked to stand up and what is it that you believe in? Because the Four of Cups is not your enemy. It is just highlighting where you may not be strongly centered or grounded in your own beliefs. So you either discard the belief or you stick by it. But you'll have other people or other influences coming in highlighting where you're not believing yourself and maybe just doing it because other people are doing it. We are being asked to step into that power of the one, and we are being asked to choose our own lane. So what's right action this week? Right action, again we have the choice card, Seven of Cups. You can see there's options around. So Seven of Cups means that you are the choices that are around are of the heart. So the action that you take will come from a depth of feeling rather than logic, and not about what's going to make you the most money or make you the most prestigious. It'll come from the heart. So the choices that are available to you that make the most sense will be ones that you resonate with inside of you. It doesn't have to have a reason. The seven there means that there's a smorgasbord. So be mindful of overwhelm. Oh, there's too much to choose from and I just love too many things. Don't forget, the Magician is going to highlight. That's your guides coming to highlight which one aligns at this moment best for you. It doesn't mean to say that all the rest must be discarded. I always like to think about the Seven of Cups as a smorgasbord, a bit of a taste test. Try it. If it doesn't align with you, if it makes you feel a bit out of control, then it's not for you. And the easiest path is the way. I'm going to pull this up again. Ace of Pentacles. So what's the possible future that is for us here this week? Here we have the Page of Pentacles. So we have a real opportunity to build a foundation of something that will last for a long time. We have the opportunity to put in the ground those foundations that will make sense to us. So this is the very beginning of something. So again, we started with the beginning of something and we're ending with the beginning of something. Now the Page of Pentacles is not defined by any one thing. The energy is there for you to access to create a strong foundation for yourself. The rest of the week is asking you to define what it is that works for you. Not to be influenced by other voices that maybe you might have listened to in the past, or that just pop in every once in a while. Check in with yourself, what aligns with you. That is your lane. And following all of that, following your heart, allows, we started off with Pentacles, we're ending with Pentacles. Something foundational that matches up for you. So what does this all mean for us this week? What sort of karmic lesson are we learning? What karmic or soul lesson are we learning? Oftentimes people ask me, what's my soul purpose? Well, let's have a look at what the purpose of this week from a soul level. A higher purpose, if you will. So here we have the Four of Swords. It's very much a discernment card. I'm going to call it this. It is a card of meditation, but it's also a card of discernment. It means we do not rush into anything. It means we honour and value the opportunity to sit back and contemplate our next move. There's no rushing here. There's plenty of time to pick a lane. And even if this week you don't actually act on anything, everything that shows up for you is going to make sense to you. You might want to write it down as a plan. So I encourage you to journal this week. If you're not able to actually step into anything and act on it, You're going to be shown a plan this week about what's best for you and what matches your heart. If you have an opportunity to do a bit of taste testing like the Seven of Cups, then please give it a go. See what works for you. What resonates in here? That's your marker. So that's the energy for the week this week. My name is Dr. Vicki Haspels. This has been the weekly forecast for week commencing March 2nd, 2026. Thank you so much for joining me. See you next week. Bye.